Hey y'all, welcome to the family that reads a lot. This is our first real reading wrap up of summer. So we start summer in um, April ish, end of April, beginning of May, somewhere in there. Just depends. This year it was kind of mid to late April. Um, but when we start summer, we are very busy, and that's kind of why we start summer there. So it's full garden season, it is recital season, it is Easter season, and family get togethers. We take some camping trips, we do some things. So it was very, very busy. So we have a few books to talk about, not a ton yet. As the summer ramps up, the reading is going to ramp up because my kids are now starting to chew through books. Um, so I figured we would start with my books this time. A lot of times I start with theirs, but I figured we would start with mine. I have one okay book and then one really good book. So this is Janice Thompson, Off the Chain. It's the Gone to the Dogs Mysteries, book one. This is about, so this is a Christian cozy mystery. This is about a vet who lives in, or really a vet tech and a vet office in Brenham, Texas. I wanted something light, fun, easy to read. I didn't have to focus a lot of energy on because knowing that I was going to be really busy, I was going to be tired. I just wanted something that I could kind of tune in and read, but not have to focus too much on. However, this was almost too much like that. Um, it didn't pull me in. It was fun and it was cute. She, rescues a dog. She gets into little scrapes and things. She's trying to start an animal rescue. There's some stuff going on. But I guess the cozy mysteries I've always read, it's funny that they call them cozy, but they were always based around like a murder. And this one is not, which some people would prefer, but it was almost not based around any sort of crisis. Like there ends up being a, I wouldn't call it a burglary. It's like a the vet office gets damaged um, by someone. And so that's really supposed to be the main thing that carries the story through. But it didn't, I didn't care enough. Like I cared, but not enough to really like chew through the pages. This was a slow read for me. Now I enjoyed it. Would I read the second one? I think so, because I came to kind of like the different people in the book and stuff. There's a love interest in here, but it's very, very light, very cutesy. Um, I feel like maybe the author was warming up with this series, or like it took them a minute to get going in this world, because in the beginning it was like, I don't know, the characters didn't feel really built out, if that makes sense. And it took me a while to start to care about the characters. And like I said, I wasn't enthralled with what happened. And so this is only 250 pages. It took me quite a few weeks to read this book. And that's normally not the case. Like this is normally a book that I'd read in a matter of days. But it didn't suck me in. So will I try the second book in the series? Potentially, if I can find it at the library or stuff. Will I purchase it? Probably not. I purchased this one because I couldn't find it at the library, then went into the library after I already had it on the way and found it at the library. Thus is life. So, next book was a big win for me. So, I have not learned, but I have loved this series. So, it's Lynette Eason. It's the Extreme Measures series. This one is Critical Threat. This was the one that started with the book that I talked about, Lifelight. It's thundering a lot. That I hope that the lighting's okay because it's very, very dark outside today. But that's okay because we needed the rain. So not complaining, just ambiance for our video, right? And maybe I should be talking about spooky books. Okay, this one actually was kind of spooky. This series is based around, I'm trying to think if the second one was. I know the first one was. Yeah, I think the second one was. So it's serial killers, right? And this is Christian fiction suspense. It's about a group of friends who, each book is based on a different person. This one's a little different because the characters are kind of spread across the country. They're not all right on top of each other, so you don't necessarily check in so much with the past characters. And at first, I didn't like that, but this author has a way of just sucking you in and making you care so much about her characters. So this one is how many pages? 300 pages, so longer than this book. This took me weeks to read. This took me like 3 days. Okay, that tells you how sucked into this book I got. It like drug you along. So it says FBI Special Agent Grace Billingsley tracks serial killers using her skills as a psychiatrist and behavioral analyst to get dangerous people off the streets and safely behind bars. So there is a love interest here. I really liked the guy in this. Like, he was interesting and not, I don't know. Sometimes the male characters in Christian fiction are kind of soft. This guy was not. He was interesting in his own right and had his own story. The girl Grace was pretty interesting to me. I liked her. Same thing. I like that these are kind of tougher girl leads. I mean, the serial killer aspect, she keeps you guessing. She keeps you interested. I didn't know right off who it was, which is always nice. And enough of a creep factor to make you kind of like, okay, wow, maybe I shouldn't read this at 11 o'clock at night, which is when I do most of my reading. But it kept me going. There's at least one more book in this series. I don't know if there's going to be any more after that. I'm going to the library tomorrow to try and find the second or the fourth book because really want to continue the series. If anybody knows of other books like this series, let me know, because this one got me. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was all the things. I used to love, like when I was in college and stuff, NCIS, like the old school original NCIS. This reminds me a lot of that. So you've got like a team that's working together and stuff that's going on, and it reminded me a lot of that, and I really enjoyed this book. So now my only problem is what I'm going to read next, because I feel like this left me on a high for books, and I don't want to go to a low next, so I don't know what to read. That's another problem. Okay, so now we'll jump into my daughter's books. She read, well, I'll do them in order. She read Survivors, The Empty City. So, this is by Erin Hunter. Y'all know from my videos, my son is a huge fan of the Warrior series. He started with the Survivor series. She enjoyed this book, but it did take her quite a while to read it. It didn't draw her in as fast as some of her other books. Like, she wasn't just chomping at the bit to sit down and read. However, we had a lot going on. Recital season is huge for her and very, I wouldn't say high stress. It's high fun, but there's like multiple days of things going on. There's dress rehearsals and all these things, and there's get-togethers and different stuff. So she was very distracted when she was reading this book. So she says she wants to continue the series, just not right now. So we'll see if she actually does that. But she enjoyed this book. Lucky has always been a lone dog, but when the big growl strikes, his whole world changes. With enemies at every turn, Lucky knows he can't survive on his own, and he falls in with a pack. He's not sure he's ready to rely on other dogs or have them depend on him, but in a dangerous new world, he may not have a choice. So she, like I said, she enjoyed it. I think she one day will continue the series, but I don't think it's going to be one that she rushes to pick up. The other one that she read is the first book in the Camp Club Girls series. I showed this in my thrift books haul. The first book is Camp Club Girls and the Mystery at Discovery Lake. So this is a Christian Girls series, kind of reminiscent of Babysitter's Club, but with less snarkiness, I guess is what I would say. Less questionable decisions, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I found this from Lindsay from Books from Christian Girls. Watching her videos, I've been kind of binging those lately, looking for safe books for my kids. Books that I can just hand them, that I don't have to pre-read, that I don't have to worry about content. If anybody is familiar with the scene of middle grade books right now, there's a lot of content coming out in the newer books that I'm not okay with my 9-year-old reading. I potentially could be okay with my 12 to 13, going into high school child reading. I don't want it in a book for a 9-year-old. There are conversations that will have to be had before that content is discussed. And it's content that I don't know. There's a lot of things coming out in newer books that I'm not okay with. And so I feel like any of the newer books that she picks up, I have to pre-read, or I have to Google and find out if they follow this line of thinking and all the things. So it's nice to not have to do that. This is a bind up of 3 books. So it's Mystery at Discovery Lake, Sydney's DC Discovery, and Mackenzie's Montana Mystery. It follows this group of girls who they start at summer camp together. And then I think it goes to maybe the different places that they live or whatever. I'm not sure. But it was 130 pages. She read through it super fast, but she loved it. She's read the first one, like I said. She's super excited to read the second and third one. This is going to be a book that goes fast. I'll probably end up having to order some more of these because these aren't ones that I've found at our library. And they're smaller, thin books, so I don't want to order them brand new. But if I can find these bind ups on thrift books, that's perfect. So yeah, it was nice to see her just like fly through a book because she really enjoyed that one. My son has been doing his summer Warriors catch up. So he always during the summer grabs a Warriors series. So this is book 1, Warriors by Erin Hunter. The Broken Code series is this one. He got book 1, book 2, and he's currently, I think, reading book 3. So this was, I think, a 3-book series. And then there's another one. But summer is his time to catch up on Warriors because he really enjoys these books. But during the school year, he doesn't have as much time for like individual fun reading. And so he just kind of gets these where he can read the whole series fast because that's how he enjoys reading them. His other book, well, and I sent one back to the library. It was part of the Ranger's Apprentice series. Same thing. Summer, he catches up on all his series reading. So he's doing that now. I think he's got 3 or 4 series that he's trying to finish up over the summer. Another one that he read is Conservation Canines, How Dogs Work for the Environment. So he loves anything that has to do with working dogs. This one showed different dogs doing different things to help the environment. So I think each chapter was about different types of dogs. It's wildlife guardians, um, a nose for conservation. I think this dog, he told me one that like it searched out endangered frogs, which I thought was really interesting. Um, Dogs saving the wild, dogs and humans, partners in conservation. So he's always done like the working dogs as far as the police dogs, war dogs, all that kind of thing. But this was kind of a different spin. This is dogs working in different ways. He really, really enjoyed this book. It has lots of good pictures and different things. And it's, like I said, it's broken up into different stories and chapters and stuff like that. But so that was a super interesting one for him. So yeah, we've all been reading. The kids, like always, have been outpacing me on books, and I'm totally fine with that. I love it. I think we've got some fun reads coming up. I've got uh, a week-long youth camp that I'm going to as a chaperone, which means I will be sitting to the side while they do things. So I have got to pick some books. Looking forward to sitting and reading and enjoying that though. And hopefully have some vacation time and things like that to where I can actually sit and consume some books and go through books quickly. So I'm excited for the summer of reading. I would love to know what y'all are reading this summer. Specific books, genres. What are you getting into this summer? Do you have a series going? Would love to know what y'all are reading because I'm always looking for book recommendations. So yeah, until the next time, y'all go read a lot. Thanks.